Hello, this is Jenny Ryan and Happy New Year. Now, if you are confused on your path to awakening and your path to being a conscious creator instead of an unconscious creator, and also struggling with finding inner peace, inner happiness, and sustaining a sense of freedom within self, I want you to know that this is all part of the process. It does not mean that you are not worthy or of being awakened or worthy of this awareness. It's actually quite normal, and it's what all of us go through. The ups and downs, the confusion, and it all begins. Everyone's journey is different, and some people's journey it comes from relationships, or it comes from loss, or it comes from financial loss. It can come from anything, but it usually happens when you start to seek. There has to be something more than what I'm experiencing in life. And I can tell you that 10 years ago, the stuff that I teach now would have sounded like absolute confusing mess to me. It would have sounded confusing and unrealistic, because back then I was just living life as someone who is experiencing life as it is, reacting to it, feeling helpless, feeling like a victim, living in fear. Even though I've always been a very optimistic person, I've just always had that ability to be optimistic, I wasn't always someone who has the same peace and the same freedom and the same wisdom that I do now. And my journey started when I wouldn't say hit rock bottom, but when I'd had enough. And I knew there was something more. I know what it feels like. I've been where you are, to experience pain, to experience suffering, to experience feeling unloved, to experience feeling unworthy. All of these things are normal in our human experience. And it is actually these things that are the catalyst to your own awakening. Now, there's not a single person who's not on the path to awakening, not a single person, because we're all one consciousness and we're all individual aspects of that one consciousness. So even though not everyone is aware they're on this path, every single person is on it. It is their journey is different to yours, that's all, and their path to awakening is different to yours. So when I began this path, I read a lot of books, I watched a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I began to seek knowledge. I became a seeker. Now, it wasn't the seeking, it wasn't the books, it wasn't the things that I watched, although they planted seeds, right? They planted seeds. It was through meditation that I experienced my first taste. And what that felt like was when you're able to drop into the space between thoughts and you experience this feeling of bliss and this feeling of inner peace and joy. And when you experience it and you come out of the meditation, you just want to experience that all the time. And this is where most people will get confused and think that they're doing something wrong because they're not experiencing life in a linear fashion after that. But awakening is not a one-time process. It's a continual unfolding and destruction of a belief in the separate self, that you're separate from God, that you're not reality itself, because you are reality. Everything in your reality is an expression and reflection of you, of what's going on within you. So your universe is unique to you, and it's unique to everyone based on who you are identifying as. So we are not the limited self, the separate self. We are, in fact, our true nature is God, consciousness, awareness, whatever word you like to use. And one of the ways that I was able to really fully grasp this was when I was able to bring myself, and you don't even need to meditate, okay? The meditations helped me to achieve and experience what it was like to feel and know myself as God, but experience the bliss, the inner peace, the freedom, and to know that there is nothing that I needed outside of myself to experience that. But one of the ways that I'm able to continue to bring myself back to this awareness is to bring myself right into the present moment, to just be and observe. Can you observe your thoughts right now? Yes. Can you observe your breath? Yep. So who is the one observing? When you can recognize that there is something that is higher than you, that's not separate from you, that is observing, you recognize that you aren't that identity that you have created for yourself. So when I say that it's not a one-time event and it's a continual destruction, what I mean is that when someone has an awakening, doesn't just occur once and then everything from there is effortless and there's no more ups and downs. No, that is not true. Even as an awakened being, we still experience the ups and downs, circumstances in life, shifting and changing, ups and downs, because that is all part of the experience of life. It has a natural ebb and flow to it. But when you can observe that the things that are unwanted are just passing and they don't have any significance to who you truly are, then you can detach from it and not allow it to define who you are. Now, if you're on the journey and you are thinking to yourself, well, what am I doing wrong? What am I not seeing? Why am I still experiencing all of these things that I don't want? And you looking at someone that you put on a pedestal, or you think that someone's more enlightened than you, it's not fair to compare yourself to an awakened being, because especially if you're only at the beginning of your journey, because it's like comparing yourself, for example, like a professional athlete, and you're at the beginning of your journey just training and learning. They're at the end of their journey, or they're much further along than their journey. They have been putting in the work for a much longer time. So it's unfair to compare yourself and to think that you aren't the same as what they are, because we are all one consciousness. We are all individual aspects of the one consciousness experiencing life through an individual lens. And there are some things about your personality that you like, that you want to keep. Like your passions, they will remain the same because you like them. There are some things that you don't prefer, which you can actually shift out of your experience of reality, and they will naturally dissolve as a consequence of you awakening and placing your awareness on what you do prefer and accepting it as true. Because there is nothing that is not true or obtainable from the all that is. So, once again, every single person is on this path, whether they're aware of it or not. And when you begin to step into this awareness and become more and more waking, it's like a journey of a progression. So it's about progression, not perfection. So it's not like, I just want to wake up and feel peace. I want to feel freedom. I want to feel that I am fulfillment. You are already that, okay? It is the removing of all of the things that are keeping you from seeing that, from keeping you of realizing that. And it's a constant progression of higher and higher levels of consciousness. So even where I am right now, I'm not saying I've arrived, I'm here, there's nothing else to do, because there always is. There's always even more higher levels of consciousness to evolve into, to become aware of. So it's not that you're doing anything wrong, you're actually on the journey. All the circumstances that you find yourself in, or all the inner struggle that you might find yourself in, is actually all created by you, for you, as the fastest path to your awakening. They're created for you to succeed, not fail. There's no way that your higher self, your I am, would create something that would set you up for failure. It's all set up for your success. So instead of judging any circumstances as being something that you're a victim to, you accept them as a part of the unfolding of the greatest version of you. It's all part of the path to your own awakening. So, I hope that gives you some hope. Well, not hope, some understanding, because there's no hope is a lack of faith. Hope that gives you understanding that the path that you're on is perfect. It's all unfolding in your favor. If you'd like to understand more about your true self, feel free to join my Facebook community or book a free 30-minute call.